Friday night service, and I was leading worship, and small group. It was just very small group. I think it was like 6 people, but it was
including us.
Yeah, but it was real intimate. And in those moments, I kind of feel like worship was a little easier to tap into because you don't have the expectation of all the lights. You don't have the haze. It was just piano, no band, and just me. And so in that moment, a lot of times after the song, we go into free worship and like prophetic worship, and that's when the song came. At least the concept of it.
Yeah.
And it definitely didn't turn out like it did now.
I just think this is a timely song, especially for what is happening today. I think that's another reason that this song was brought about, 2 years ago?
2016.
Yes, 2016. So when you think about it, when God drops something, you want to put it out right away and you want to get it done as soon as possible. But that's what we found out in this process, that, God had dropped it for a different time period.
Yeah.
And with the lyrics, I believe we're saying we need more of God. We need more of your spirit. Send your fire, send your rain. And the thing about fire is destroying those things that God is not pleased with.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we're in a time, especially in America, we're dealing with so much darkness, so many bad things, that I just think that this is a song that can touch the hearts of anybody and everybody, from the lowest to the highest person. Lyrically, I just think it can resonate with the times that we're in now.
The song actually got completed right here. If you guys can't tell, but we're at our actual home church. So we didn't have the budget to go to a studio and just be like, oh, let me get 8 hours and let's just knock this out. When you got studio time going for $180, $250 an hour to get that quality is tough. And so we had to do it here. I think we built the studio around the same time that we were tracking.
That we started.
So it was brand new home studio, project studio. Not world class, but it got the job done. So a lot of the first cuts, the instrumentation, the vocals, background vocals was done right here. I remember the background vocal session was on this stage.
Yes.
We didn't even do it in the studio. And it was so funny because 2 of the background vocalists, one is one of the singers for our praise and worship team, and the other background vocalist is my brother-in-law, her brother.
Yes.
So, and then the third background vocalist was her.
Yes. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, so you'll never really notice, but I guess you can now because I'm telling you. But Patience had to sing soprano. We didn't have a background vocalist to sing soprano. So Patience had to literally sing her own background and have to kind of sing it different, so you really couldn't tell it was her. So we made it work. I mean, I think we did, it had to be 3 or 4 vocal sessions for the lead vocals. I mean, we tracked it so many times.
Yeah.
Like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning sessions. We would come in on Saturdays. We would have the kids sleep while we try to track. We tracked in the youth room. We tracked in the studio. We tracked in the sanctuary. We tracked everywhere.
Yeah, this whole building.
Yeah. And by the time we got it done, we were satisfied. I think it was 2 weeks before we sent it to mixing.
Yeah.
Where we actually sat down and was like,
a week before.
Yeah. And we were like, we like this. This could work.
Yeah, it was a week before that we actually finished everything, because you went back and did your vocals like 3 times, and I went back maybe 3 or 4 times also doing my lead vocals. But once you get it, you got it, and it's good.
Yeah. Because if we would have released what the first vocals were, you guys would have laughed us out. I mean, it was decent, but it wasn't it.
I think we're our hardest critics, because there'll be some stuff that he does, and I'm like, boy, that was killing. Like, and he's like, delete and go back, and I'm like, wait, did you save it? Like,
nope. the toughest things also was getting the lyrics locked in.
Yeah.
Because when it first got dropped on that Friday night, oh my gosh, I wish we had the clip to show you guys, but it literally was send your rain, send your fire, we need more of you. And then there was a tagline, it was so much stuff that was loaded on it, and it was like breaking down a puzzle to getting it locked in. Like even the melody for the verse originally was so much different. I think the first time we ever sung it on a Sunday, the praise and worship team learned it like 10 minutes before service. It was that very next Sunday. You did it Friday, and then we taught it Sunday morning at sound check. And it was so awesome though, because we actually got to see the song, how it played out for the first time in front of people. Because that Friday night, I mean, it's worship, you know, everyone's going to be involved when you got 6 people. But when you got a room of people who've never heard it before, and the way they responded so quick to it, I think that was the moment where we were like, I think we got something. And what they were responding to was just the chorus. No, the bridge. It was just the bridge. Just the bridge. The send your fire, send your rain.
No, we did the chorus, the bridge, and then we did the tag that Sunday. Or no, it was a different Sunday we did the tag. Because we've been doing the song since it came about. But
2016.
The recording process was longer because people were asking, okay, who sings that song? And I was like, well, it hasn't been recorded yet. That's us, but it hasn't been recorded yet. But they responded very well to it, that people were asking who, you know, recorded it and whose song it is.
And I'll tell you, you know, one of the things was so much fear because they had grabbed onto the bridge so much as a church that it was such a fear when we got the verses, we never sung them on a Sunday.
Never.
Not until probably the song was sent off to mixing was the first time. And you got to remember, this is 2 years. There was 2 years of us just singing the bridge in a tagline. We never introduced the verses.
We introduced the verses for the first time. And when do we have our night of worship here?
It had to be.
That was what?
This
February?
Year? It was 2018.
February of 2018. We first introduced the verses because we did the whole song.
And the verses had been done. Probably, I think it was the end of 2016, and we waited out of fear that I don't know how they're going to grab onto this. I don't know if they're going to respond the same that they did to the bridge like they're going to do with the verses.
But it was funny because once we got to the chorus, everybody was like,
oh, that's that song. Okay. It was like, yes, victory. So, I mean, I think it was such a learning experience of knowing, don't be fearful, just put it out and see how people respond.